America has fallen, and it's never coming back. It's never going to be what it once was. We are in a state of decline. America peaked probably a couple of decades ago, maybe the 70s, and it's all been kind of slowly unraveling and falling apart ever since. What it is an inevitable evolution. The old way of doing life is simply not sustainable. The old systems of slavery are not going to prevail anymore within humanity. Right now we're at kind of a split, a branching off. There are people talking about an awakening that's happening. That awakening is only affecting a small percentage of the American population or the human population. And what it is it's people waking up to the truths. The slave system, the old system, is held together by lies. It's held together by deception. In fact, it takes roughly 18 years or so of American public education to program a human being to believe in the dollar and to believe in the economic system. 18 is the magic number. Some capitalists figured out somewhere along the line that if you repress a human being for the first 18 years of their life, that's how long it takes to successfully shut down an emotional system. It takes a person that was empathetic and makes them apathetic. It charges people for competition against each other instead of cooperation with each other. It takes 18 years to shut a person down. Figured out that most people won't ever recover. If they repress the emotional system for 18 years and program the brain for 18 years, most people are not strong enough, don't have the strength of spirit to heal from and overcome and wake up from all of that programming and lies that were put into them. So 18 years, the empire will own them for life. They'll be stormtroopers for life. This awakening that we're going through it represents a small portion of the population that is opening their eyes, waking up to the illusion, the lies. The people who are not waking up, they still believe in the American dream, right? They believe that if they just keep working hard, that they'll be able to have success and they'll be able to get wealthy and get rich and drive a nice car, right? They're chasing that dream. Well, the small fraction of the population that is waking up, they're realizing that dream was a lie. It was just a fake carrot that was put out there in front of us to keep us working, to keep us hoping, thinking that we're going to get somewhere. While the people who are at the top of the giant pyramid scheme, they're the ones who are benefiting from all of this, and they're the ones who are really sitting on the wealth that other people are working to generate. And of course, emotions and sexuality are all tied into this too. Christianity is the religion of capitalism. Definitely not the religion of Jesus, because Christians don't even pretend to try and be like Jesus. They're not honest, they're not empathetic, they're not understanding, they're not caring, they're not loving. They're capitalists. They take advantage of people. They exploit people. And that's all predicated on emotional repression. Because people who are emotionally shut down, they're emotionally scarred over, they're apathetic. They don't give a shit about other people, and they have no problems getting their own wealth at somebody else's expense. That's all part of the program. Sexuality is also tied to it because Christianity invented the moral code, the rules around what you can and can't do and who you can and can't do it with and the circumstances and all that. They created all of this artificial morality system because it didn't come from Jesus, and it definitely is not aligned with biological truth, scientific truth. Their moral code was invented specifically to kind of pinch people into the Christian nuclear family, which is nothing other than a breeding cell. It does not fulfill our emotional needs, and so because it doesn't fulfill our emotional needs, we're existing in a state of deprivation. Our emotional needs are not being met, so there's a void, there's a hole inside of our hearts. And capitalism tells us, oh, if you just buy a new car, you'll fill that void. Capitalism intentionally creates a void that people try to fill with addictions to money, addictions to materialism, right? Anything other than love, what is supposed to be there. The moral code is also designed specifically to maximize reproduction of the slaves. Capitalism is dependent upon growth. It has to keep growing. If it's like a shark, if it stops moving forward, it will die. So in order for the empire to continue expanding, they needed to figure out a way to get people to have lots of babies. So of course, birth control is a sin, right? They invented the concept of sin. It's all made up, it's fake, because, well, birth control is a sin, abortion is a sin, right? They want everybody they want everybody wound up and getting pregnant, getting married, and busting out kids so that the empire can grow and grow and grow and grow. That's why so many religious families are massive families. The Catholics are known for having tons and tons of kids, the Mormons, right? It's all about expanding the size of the empire so that, you know, they can always make more and more and more and more and more. But that comes to a dead end too, because planet Earth only has so much room on it. There's only so much room for growth to happen. And so perpetual, like always constant growth, there's an end to that. There is a point at which we reach maximum capacity of the island, and resources start getting depleted and people start suffering. I believe we're there. We're at the point where, you know, clearly our footprint is having an impact on the environment and the balance of the whole thing, and we're throwing it off. It's so there is like I said, there's two groups of people. The main bulk of people are still chasing the American dream, still believing in it. They're not strong enough to wake up. They're not strong enough to cognitively, they don't want to see the truth, not willing to see the truth. They just want to keep going. It requires work, and it requires acknowledging stuff that people don't want to acknowledge, healing that people don't want to do. It's a scary thing. They just want to stay in that security blanket that they've always known. They've always been told this is the way it is and this is the way it's supposed to be, and they don't want to think outside of that. So this small portion of people, call it the remnant, or the 144,000 or whatever, that are waking up to this, these are people that are disillusioned. They're no longer drunk on the American dream anymore. And there are people who are, I don't know, not buying houses. They're living in their cars. Or people who are quitting their corporate jobs and like buying homesteads and being off-gridders, right? These are people who are removing themselves from the system because they can see that the system has failed and failing, and they don't believe in it anymore. It's, you know, there was a time where people would go to school and get a career, and they would work for 30 years because they believed in it, and there was a payoff at the end of it, retirement. But that's all gone. You know, we know that now is the time in human history where we shift out of the old system and we invent a new system. And the new system is not going to be one in which we compete against each other for survival, or that we're pitted against each other by the ruling class, so that they can profit off of us. That whole thing is going away. The future looks very, very different from the past. The way that people live in the future will be very different from the way that people have lived in the past. There's no more need for any of the bullshit.